Hi, Alex here. I want to talk to you about remuneration schemes for self-employed sales associates. They can be even more complicated than traditional employee type contracts. So I just think I'd go through a few of the key points that you need to consider for a self-employed formula, because there can be various elements to it depending on your goals and the sector you wish to work in. There may be differences of what you actually go for and negotiate, so you need to understand it. It's a contract is more important than for a normal employee, because you could have portfolio rights, so it's much stronger. You effectively own your own business, so it's much bigger a concept and more important to get this right. Well, first of all, you have to think about what sector you're in. Or would be in with a new position, because that can make a difference on the selling. So the product itself can have a one-off big payment, or it might have a subscription, or it might have reordering potentials. So when you bring in a client, is it just a one-off commission you're getting, or is there an ongoing subscription which is totally passive, or maybe just reordering potential in there? So you have to weigh all of that up and see what you can actually get. You also have to look at the time scales, how quickly is this turned to cash and when do you get paid. And there's contracts where something that takes a long time, they can actually bring payments forward to alleviate that. But you need to look from the company's point of view, what are their cash flows and margins, because this is going to affect you, and how much you actually make. Right. So self-employed salespeople are entrepreneurs. They have their own business. We have our own business. So we tend to be more focused on not just the short, but the medium and long term. We're thinking of building an asset, of building something permanently. So that's appealing to a company, because we have a lower turnover rate, because we tend to stick with something because it's ours. Why would you leave from your own business? So you're a business owner, and that really means that the company has to do less supervision and motivation of you, but it still has to do the training and directing and tell you all about their products and the marketing reach and what's the best approaches, and many details like this. So timescales, size and volume, three key things to look at. So in some situations we've dealt with, people can earn commissions in week one and be paid them by start Monday and be paid on the Friday. Others might have, at the other extreme, a 9 to 12 month cycle. I think of like commercial solar, for example, very big deals, but can take a long time before cash is done. And again, as we've already mentioned, the margins. So let's look at the different elements of the pay. Now, the remuneration is, various elements. The first and the main one is the commissions on the deal. And obviously, self-employed, you're really wanting double what a traditional employee get for not having the office, the basic, and all those other trimmings. You really want a lot more, because you own the business. You expect a great deal more from it. So the commissions are often, and we often do this, put them into three grades. There's reason, because people still like the status of that. So they might start as a consultant designate, then consultant, then up to senior consultant. And you can find that depending on the margin, of course, you get paid 25% of the margin, for the first 2, 3 or 5 deals. Then you actually get 40% on the next chunk. And then when you've hit a certain level, you get 50% of the margin on every subsequent deal. That locks in good people, of course, and gives you a motive to get up quickly. Some deals I've seen do exactly the opposite. So to give you cash flow quickly, they actually say, okay, the 25% of the margin is the commission on this, but we'll pay you 50%, double, in the first 3 months to get you moving quickly, to get some urgency and to get cash flow while you're building up that work in progress, so that you're not really, if you're prepared to do the hard work and can do the job, you're not really under financial pressure. So that can work both ways. Then the next one I've got here is sign-up fees. Depending on the product, sometimes they're very long, and what companies do often say, here's £1,000 for every new company you sign up, whatever level it is. And that can be great, and it can certainly help your cash flow and motivate you to close that deal to get an instant grand out of that. Now, a key area that you always need to think about is what I call portfolio rights. That means your right to earn the ongoing commissions, the cross-sells, the upsells, the referrals of anything that you bring in. And you can write that contract differently. I've seen three basic ways of doing this. One is, and it depends on the company and the sector and so forth, ongoing forever, which means that you own that right, and if you leave the company, you can sell that as an asset to somebody else in sales in the company or to the company itself, or just take the passive income from it. You own that right. Others have a front-loaded terminal, which basically they pay a double amount for the first 3 months for cash flow, and then the normal commissions go for a further 9 months, and it closes after 12 months. And the third type I've come across is what I call declining. So each year 2 is half year 1, year 3 is half year, and it declines until a period that it actually stops and it filters out. But it's still a portfolio asset, and you've got to get the idea that you're building up a capital asset, not just an income, a physical asset that you can sell. The next one I'd look at, which is quite common, is a fast track bonus. Different situations, they do this to get you moving quickly, to get that urgency into you, to get cash flow coming. So you might get a £500, £1,000, whatever, for hitting usually a work in progress type target in month 1. How many appointments you've made, how many, anything that required, even attending training courses and so forth and passing them. Then we have a retainer, which is really an advance on commissions, which is sometimes negotiated when that feels right. And finally, if you ever want to build up a team and help them manage and build a team, you've got an override, a sales override, which is a percentage of the sales that new people are making. So they delegate to you the training, the direction, the general management, and getting people up to speed, a responsibility for them. So you build your own team and you can build up quite an income from other people. Yeah. Now, we at Success Moves, on our job descriptions, opportunity descriptions, always add an earnings matrix. We do this over years. So you've got the short, medium and long term, and we do it in the different aspects which I've just gone through, but also for somebody below the average and above the average. So you get a clear idea of what the earning potential is and how it, not just the size of it, but how the pattern, is it a long build-up period, or is it flatter, and what's really happening there. Yeah, so that's some of the things that you need to think about before negotiating a contract. So which one you go for depends on your goals, financial situation, the sector that you're going into, the nature of the product, the market, the margins. There's lots of factors, as I've said, going through it, which will make a difference. But finally, on negotiation, outside of the actual money, you need to ask some key questions about all the support you're getting. What training do you provide? You need to be trained on the product. For some products, that can be an hour and you've really got it. For others, it can be a week and you've still got more to learn. Yeah. So is that ongoing? What sales and administrative support is there? What lead generation can I expect? What help are you going to give me on that side? What marketing and social media presence can help and support my efforts? Is there a sales manual, presentation pack, PowerPoint, demonstrations I can use? And the key question I like to ask is, what did your highest earner take home last year? That's the key one. So I hope you found that useful and we can find you a contract within Success Moves. Thank you for listening. Cheerio.